So I want to give you a little video walkthrough of what a HyperDoc looks like using the new features in Seesaw. So this is really good because we don't have to use that extra component of a Google slide in order to provide interactive links on our different pages. So prior to last week, you didn't have the ability to embed links. So that's what's really nice about this is we can just bypass Google Slides altogether now. So when you click here, you're going to get a link to the Seesaw activity that I just uploaded. And if you want to actually interact with it, you'll need to save it to your library. And then go ahead and assign it to one of your classes and open it up. Okay, so you can begin by reading the instructions. And so the first thing we want to do is add response. So I'm going to click on add response. I'm going to choose the sample student. And now it will open up. If I ever need to go back to view the instructions again, I can just click on this tab up here and the little icon shortcuts will pop up too, okay? So over on the right-hand side, you're gonna notice that I have 7 slides, 1 slide for each of the 7 parts of the learning cycle. Just remember that as the designer of the lesson, you can pick and choose which parts of the learning cycle you want to include within your lesson. It doesn't have to be all 7. So on the first slide, it says it's the engage piece, and they're going to click on the video to go on a virtual field trip. So this is the new part in Seesaw. You can now hover over the link icon, and it takes you to whatever URL you copy and paste in there. You also have the ability to record voice instructions. So if I click on this little icon down here, the students can hear.
Click on the video to go on a virtual field trip.
So that's really good for struggling readers, or just if you want your kids to be able to hear your voice during distance learning. Sometimes this is not really noticeable by students, and so I added like a little arrow over here with directions to click on the caption icon to hear voice instructions, and so I'll show you how to do that in the next video tutorial. So when they click on the link, it's going to open up in a new tab. And for some reason, I don't know why, but YouTube has been doing this lately. It works fine when I'm logged in just with my regular Google credentials, but with NAISD, it's been doing this. If you just wait a minute, it should eventually load the video. So
every form of life on Earth is a compilation of adaptations that have evolved over time.
This is about a 12-minute video. Now, you don't necessarily need to find a video this long. You can do something very quick, but I thought this was a good introduction to animal adaptations because these 2 ladies are showing actual animals and talking about their adaptations. So students will need to know how to multitask, meaning that they're going to have to toggle back and forth between different tabs. So when they're finished with this one, they can just close it out and go back to Seesaw. Once they're done, they can go to the next slide, and this is the Explore section. So here I have 3 links to live webcams where they observe how animals are using their adaptations to interact with the habitat. And once again, all they have to do is click on the link icon, and that link will pop up and they can go and explore that content. So for the first 2 stages, really all they're doing is consuming content. On the third slide, they're going to use these resources below, and these all happen to be text resources. I like to do a combination of video and text just to kind of, give a little bit of variety there. So they're going to use the resources to learn more about animal adaptations. They're going to choose either an Arctic animal or an ocean animal. And on the next slide, this is where they actually have to apply the content that they learned in the explain piece, in the explore piece, and in the engage piece. So notice how each stage we're going deeper and deeper with the understanding. So here they choose an animal from the Arctic or ocean and tell how that animal's adaptations help them survive. They're going to list as many adaptations as they can and anything else they find interesting. So they can use the text tool feature and just type in their answers as they go along. I wish Seesaw would kind of fix this, whereas if I continue to type, the box will get smaller, but it doesn't. So students are going to have to learn how to resize the box in order to resize the text and then line it up to make it fit where they want it to go. So they just fill in this chart, and then they move on to the next stage, which is going to be share. And they're going to share what they noticed from the live animal webcams. What are they doing? Did they see any adaptations that would help them to survive? So I'm giving them a choice of drawing, typing, or recording their observations. And this makes it nice because if they need to go back and revisit those animal webcams in order to answer or complete this share part, then it's easy for them to just go back and forth between these slides to revisit content. So again, they can add text just by clicking on the T tool and then make sure you show them how to resize it. They can record their audio. So if I just click on start recording, you can see it's now recording what I'm saying. And then when they're done, they just click on done and it adds this little play button. So you know that there's audio attached. They can also draw by using one of the tools down here at the bottom and using digital ink. So if they're on an iPad, it should be pretty easy for them to use their finger as a pencil or stylus. On the next slide, they're going to reflect. So did you know that humans have adaptations too? Think about what body parts help you survive. And again, I'm giving them a choice of typing, recording, or drawing their answer if they want. In the extend piece, there's this really cute website called Switch Zoo where they choose the head of one body, of one animal, the body of another, and then the legs of another. And they kind of create their own animal based on body parts. And I want them to think about what kind of habitat that animal would need based on those body parts in order to help them survive. Okay, so that's kind of it in a nutshell. One nice feature about Seesaw is that if students are in the middle of a lesson and they have not finished it yet, they can just click on this draft button up here and it saves it. It lets you know that they're currently in progress. So that's a great visual cue for you to then go in and provide feedback during the learning process, kind of make clarifications for them or answer any questions they may have. When they're done, they just click on the check and it saves their work. Way easier than having to do this in Google Slides first. So I'm really, really, really excited about this update.